Hey everybody, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we wrap up our Saints at Home series with our outstanding senior student athletes as they are now moving back onto campus and we're getting ready to start school on Monday. And one of those great individuals that has moved back to St. Louis after being at home in Indiana for the past bunch of months is from the softball team. She's a senior. She's Hannah Tolley. Hannah, welcome back to St. Louis. Glad to have you back on campus. How's everybody doing? How is the family doing throughout the summer and all that fun stuff?
Thanks for having me, Jim. Everybody's been doing great. Luckily, we haven't personally been affected by COVID, but obviously still taking precautions so everybody stays safe and healthy. But yeah, we're doing overall pretty well.
Awesome. The first question is, and you were, softball was one of the sports directly affected back in early March when, everything started to fall around the country with COVID and everything, and making the quick pivot to, learn virtually. How were you able to handle, number one, losing your junior year of softball, but then number two, kind of having to get back into the mindset of, okay, I've got to get my studies done and I'm going to have to do it in a virtual setting?
Right. Well, obviously, it was very tough losing my junior season. All of us were very excited for that season. We had some great players, especially seniors, and we were really, really sad to see them go and lose out on that season. But moving forward with studies, obviously, that still has to continue. And I believe our school was very prepared for it. Obviously, I think it's great that we all had iPads. So obviously that makes virtual learning very easy for people who may not have access to computers at home or may not have laptops and that sort of thing. So I think that made the transition very easy so we could all stay connected virtually.
And I was just going to ask you that. One of the great things about Maryville was we were all prepared for this. We were way ahead of the ball game. When it came to having to make the quick pivot to virtual for not only the student athletes and the students, but for the faculty and staff and everything. And the support system you guys had, I know, was just unbelievable. And it was really cool to see the campus community coming together and making sure that our students were able to get everything that they needed in such a crazy time.
Yes, I know I loved my professors were very understanding in the situation. Obviously, it's last minute. No one was expecting it. No one wanted that to happen, but they were very understanding with it. And not everybody really thrives in that setting. So I think that they took that into consideration too with some of like our tests and quizzes. So that was great.
What have you been able to do back in Indiana this summer? Have you been able to, get some hits, get some swings in, field some softballs? Were you able to do anything training wise while you were back home in Indiana during the whole quarantine thing?
Well, actually, I ran into another injury. Surprise, surprise. I actually had my second hip surgery in July. So I was kind of down for the count most of the summer. But I obviously was in rehab for months and I'm still continuing rehab. So I'm just starting to gain strength and mobility and stuff like that to get me prepared to be back on the field.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you hate to say silver linings about stuff like this, but this may have been a silver lining because then you could really concentrate on that therapy and being able to get your strength back and to get that hip going again so that you're going to be able to play, when spring comes around. So, you throw some silver linings out there. This may have been one of them for you personally.
Yes, I totally agree. It actually happened right before we were sent home. My hip pain did. And so it was kind of a blessing in disguise in a way, if you want to say it that way. But yeah, I was able to go home and get it taken care of and not hurt it worse or, have it affected for this coming year. So I was able to get it taken care of, luckily. And now we're on the upward.
No doubt about it. One of the senior leaders this year, and I know Alyssa's coming back, and there's some other juniors that are going to step into some big leadership roles, but you're going to be one of those seniors as well in that dugout. How have you been able to keep in contact with everybody? I know Coach Conley has had you guys on a bunch of Zoom meetings throughout the summer to, kind of touch base, but how have you guys been able to stay in contact and, kind of keep everybody ready to go for when we get back on the campus this weekend and ready to practice in mid-September?
Yeah, so like you said, Coach Conley has been really great about keeping us connected with Zoom meetings occasionally. And like for me, I like FaceTiming some of my teammates occasionally and catching up with them and even just texting them periodically and be like, hey, like, how you doing? That kind of thing. But also we have a group me with our whole team, which is great for us all to stay connected. And obviously the incoming freshmen are in that group me. So we're kind of getting to know each other through there and trying to figure out like a plan for when we get back to campus and everything. So.
How excited are you to finally be back on the campus? I know you got back into town early, this week, and I know yesterday for the first day of move-in day, I was on campus, and it was great to see everybody finally after 5 months of not seeing a lot of you guys and everything. How excited are you to finally be back on campus and ready to get going on Monday with classes?
I am very excited. It's been a long break, that's for sure. But I haven't really seen too many of my friends yet other than my roommates. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to get back with everyone and see everyone again.
No doubt. All right, last question. And this has been the fun question I've been asking everybody all summer long. Everybody's been binge watching something, whether it's on Netflix, on Hulu, Roku, whatever. What has Hannah Tolley been binge watching throughout the summer?
A little mix of things. But right now I'm currently binge watching All American. It's about a football player, so kind of sports related, but I really like it.
A lot of people have said that. I mean, All American's been one. Ozark was another one that a lot of people mentioned as well. And that I actually have watched now 2 times this summer, Last Chance U. So, I'm right there with all you guys trying to get that sports fix in whenever I get the opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's so. Well, Hannah, we appreciate the time. I know you're still getting transitioned back on the campus and everything, but we appreciate you jumping in and joining us today, and cannot wait to see you guys on Monday when classes start, and can't wait to get you guys out down on the new field and ready to get things going and get prepared for the spring.
Yes, thank you for having me, Jim.
Hannah Tolley joins us as she's one of our outstanding senior softball players on the Maryville University softball team, and we're excited for a lot of the great things that we're going to see in the spring from our softball team down at the new athletic complex. It's going to be awesome for them to finally get a full season in down on the new field after only being able to play 3 times down there. So it'll be exciting for them to get a full season in the spring down at the complex. For Hannah, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week. And as always, go Saints.